Imagine this. You walk into a store, you see a handbag, it costs $10,000. Your rational brain says, that's insane. I can get something similar for 50 bucks. But your emotional brain whispers something different. It says, if I buy this, I'll be somebody. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not crazy. You're being manipulated by one of the most powerful psychological systems ever created. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how luxury brands hijack your self-worth, why it works so well, and most importantly, how to break free from this trap. This isn't going to be comfortable, but if you've ever felt that rush of superiority from owning something expensive, you need to watch this entire video. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain when you buy luxury. Neuroscience shows us something disturbing. Owning luxury items triggers the same reward centers as addictive substances. Yes, you heard that right. The same neural pathways as drugs. When you walk into a Gucci store and smell that leather, see those perfect displays, hear the elegant music, your brain releases dopamine. But here's where it gets dark. It's the anticipation of the purchase that creates the biggest dopamine spike, not the actual ownership. Studies from Harvard and Stanford have confirmed this. You're essentially chasing a high that never fully satisfies you. The moment you own it, the dopamine drops. And what do addicts do when they crash? They chase the next hit, the next bag, the next watch, the next pair of shoes. This isn't happening by accident. Luxury brands have literally studied your brain chemistry to keep you coming back. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a composite of dozens of real people I've researched, but her story is very real. Sarah is 28, works in marketing, makes decent money. She bought her first Louis Vuitton bag at 24 when she got her first promotion. That moment, pure euphoria. She felt seen, she felt successful. She posted it on Instagram, 427 likes. For 2 weeks, she walked differently, talked differently, felt different. But then something happened. She stopped noticing the bag. Her co-workers stopped commenting. The magic wore off. So 6 months later, she bought a Gucci belt, then a Prada wallet, then a Rolex watch she couldn't afford. She financed it. 3 years later, Sarah has $20,000 in credit card debt, but her Instagram looks amazing. She still doesn't feel successful. She just feels trapped. Does this sound familiar? Sarah represents millions of people caught in what psychologists call hedonic adaptation. You adapt to the luxury, it becomes your new normal, and you need more to feel that high again. It's a hamster wheel that never stops. This phenomenon has a name, and it's been around for over a century. In 1899, economist Thorstein Veblen identified something he called conspicuous consumption, spending money on expensive things not because you need them, but to show off to others. Veblen observed the wealthy in the Gilded Age and realized they were buying things specifically to signal their social status. Fast forward to today, and it's not just the wealthy anymore, it's everyone. We're all engaging in conspicuous consumption, but now it's amplified by social media. Think about it. Why does a Rolex tell better time than a Casio? It doesn't. Why is a Hermès Birkin bag more functional than a Target tote? It's not. The only difference is the signal it sends, and here's the manipulation. Luxury brands price their items high specifically to maintain exclusivity. The high price is the product. If everyone could afford a Birkin, nobody would want one. They're literally selling you artificially created scarcity, and you're paying for the privilege of making other people feel excluded. That's the game. You're not buying quality, you're buying the ability to make others feel less than. Here's where it gets really interesting. There are actually two completely different psychologies at play in luxury consumption, and understanding this will blow your mind. Let me introduce you to the old money versus new money paradox. New money buyers. These are people who recently came into wealth or are aspiring to wealth. They buy luxury with massive logos. Louis Vuitton monograms everywhere. Gucci belts with huge G's. Why? Because they need to prove their status to others. They need validation. For them, luxury is about social acceptance and signaling that they've made it. But old money buyers, completely opposite psychology. People who grew up wealthy don't need to prove anything. They buy what's called quiet luxury. Brands you won't recognize unless you're in the club. Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, The Row, no logos, no flash, just quality. They already have status, so they don't need to broadcast it. Here's the twist. Luxury brands have figured this out and now sell both experiences. They have loud logo items for new money and subtle pieces for old money. They're literally exploiting different psychological needs in different economic groups. Everyone gets manipulated, just in different ways. So let's cut through all the marketing and get to the brutal truth. What are you actually buying when you buy luxury? You're not buying better quality. Tests show that many mid-range products outperform luxury in durability. You're not buying happiness. Studies prove luxury purchases provide temporary satisfaction that fades within days. You're not buying confidence. If you only feel confident wearing expensive clothes, that's not confidence, that's dependence. What you're really buying is 1. Temporary relief from status anxiety. 2. A story you tell yourself about who you are. 3. Social validation from people who also bought into the same illusion. And 4. Membership in a club that only exists because others are excluded. That's it. That's what $10,000 gets you. And here's the most dangerous part. The luxury industry has convinced you that your self-worth is external. That it comes from what you own rather than who you are. They've taken one of the deepest human needs, the need to feel valuable, and monetized it. They've turned your insecurity into their business model, and it's working brilliantly. The global luxury market is worth over $300 billion and growing every year. $300 billion of people trying to buy self-worth from the outside in. So, how do you break free from this psychological trap? It starts with awareness, which is why you're watching this video. First, recognize the manipulation. Every time you feel that pull toward a luxury item, ask yourself, am I buying this because I genuinely love it or because of what I think it will make me feel? Second, understand that real status cannot be purchased. The people who command the most genuine respect aren't the ones with the most expensive items. They're the ones with genuine skills, authentic relationships, and real achievements. Third, redirect that energy. Instead of spending $5,000 on a bag, invest $5,000 in yourself. Take courses, build skills, create experiences, start a business. That's where real transformation happens. Fourth, practice internal validation. Your value as a human being is inherent. It has nothing to do with logos, price tags, or Instagram likes. The moment you truly internalize this, luxury brands lose their power over you. And finally, if you do choose to buy luxury, buy it consciously. Buy it because the craftsmanship genuinely speaks to you, not because you need external validation. Buy within your means. Never finance status symbols. And never, ever let a product define your self-worth. You are not what you own. You are not your Instagram feed. You are not your net worth or your designer wardrobe. You are a human being with inherent value, and no brand can give that to you or take it away. If this video opened your eyes, do me a favor. Don't keep this information to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Tag that friend who's caught in the designer spiral. Post it to your story, because the luxury industry thrives on silence and shame. They don't want you talking about this. But when we have these conversations, we break the spell. Before you go, leave a comment. What luxury item made you feel this way? Share your story. You'll be amazed how many people relate. And if you want more content that exposes the psychology behind everyday manipulation, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Remember, your self-worth is not for sale.